Today I'm going to cover one of the most important and in real time, right? So this will be very useful for those who are not have the real time exposure, and also it maybe give some good advantage to those who have already have the knowledge in a cluster. Okay, so try to understand what I'm saying in this class, and definitely this can be useful at the time of interview as well as after getting a job. And okay, so to understand that subject, right, rack awareness is a very important concept. That is the reason I just going to explain what is rack awareness from Hadoop. You people might know what is rack awareness, but still, please bear with me, and you may get a good knowledge out of it. It's taking a little time. So I have prepared a notes. See, are you able to see my screen? Yes.
Yes,
Are you?
Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how many of you know Hadoop, this rack awareness? Just to say yes, I know, something like that. Okay, no problem, no problem. In this video, anyway, I'm going to explain in detail. I will try to cover these topics. So this is a very high level picture uh, in a in a cluster. Okay, and in that rack awareness is very important. Okay, so as you see here, this is the rack one. Okay, in rack one there are some multiple nodes. Okay, and multiple nodes, like I have three racks: rack one, rack two, rack three. Now this is only for your information purpose. Okay, I'm not referring to any cluster now. This is part of Hadoop cluster. You can try to assume like that. And in rack I have 6 data nodes and 2 edge nodes. En means edge node. Okay, Dn means data node. Okay, Ann means active name node. PNN means passive node. SNN means secondary name node. Okay, so assume we have a cluster with 3 racks. In that racks, I have 3 master daemons, like master. These are the 3 master nodes. I can say active name nodes and the passive name node and secondary name node. Anyway, I'm not going to explain what is this. Definitely, we'll try to cover what is this 3 in another session. But meanwhile, we try to understand this is also a part of Hadoop cluster as a master. Okay, and coming to edge nodes are very much similar to data nodes, but these edge nodes, or we can also call it as a gateway node, where we use these nodes to connect our servers or connect our network. We can say data nodes to compute or to run our program. Okay, so these in 3 racks together, we have total 6 edge nodes, and by using 6 edge nodes, everybody will connect to this cluster with this database. This data nodes. Okay. Now this edge nodes also won't participate in a task execution. Okay. Though all the services are pre-installed in edge nodes, and we will use edge nodes to connect the servers. Okay, you have to learn this much. That's it. You don't need to go further. What is the edge node? What is the gate? I mean, what is the functionality of Insight? You don't need to bother. If you are not a admin guy, you don't need to bother in depth of knowledge. Okay, just have a fair knowledge. What is edge node? What is data node? What is name node? Something like that. Okay, so coming to data node, these nodes are the worker nodes, we can say, and these nodes will save all the data will be saved here, and when we execute any program, the resources of these data nodes will be utilized, and will process the data. Okay, so now every rack is having its own identity, a rack switch. We can call it as a rack switch is again called as a rack switch is having each ID unique ID, I can say. Okay, like that. Let us say we have three rack IDs in unique IDs, and these about these two are core switches, we can say, and core switches also connect based on the availability of resources. It will whenever we submit any program or any request, right, through these core switches, data will be shuffled or moved between these rack switches or to these racks. Okay, and ultimately this is a Hadoop cluster. This is the right hand side is whole cluster, we can say, in real time. Okay, generally we won't see this kind of pictures and all in our offices, because this will be maintained in a remote location or in a different place where the developer won't see. Okay, admin might be know these places and see the physical servers, but yes, of course, in general we won't see this kind of structure. But for understanding purpose, I'm showing it. This is how the racks or data nodes will be stored. And if you might have seen many videos or photos, and Amazon data center or Google data centers are maintaining servers like this in a data centers. Okay, you just assume like that. And coming to this is our system, we can say. This is also now you have here, and you are using this computer to execute your programs. Okay, now when you execute, or let us say the task is there, there is a one file. You want to store this file in a HDFS. Okay, to do so, definitely you have to write some commands, right? So that commands will be executed through these edge nodes. Okay, so whatever that application that you are going to execute will be, we have to use either any one of these edge nodes. Uh, these edge nodes are readily available when we run any program, right? Any application, we have to choose any one of the edge nodes. These edge nodes will be provided by admin team. Okay, and let us say I want to choose edge node 2, then load my data. My file size is, let us say, 256 MB. As you know, Hadoop 2.x version onwards, we have a default block size is 128 MB. So as and when you try to load this 256 MB of data, it will divide it into two pieces and two chunks of data, we can say. Each that has a this black one is A1 and this is a A2. Okay, now as you know, right, we have a 3 is a replica factor by default in Hadoop. As and when you load this data into, send this data to cluster, automatically this will divide, and it will make replication, and then store in different data nodes.
Yep.
So let us assume this one block is A1 A11 means this is the in okay, I think I represented a little, this is wrong actually. This because edge nodes are won't be used for storage or execution purpose. You just ignore this one. Let us say in data node 1, this first block got stored, and then the second block, that is A12. See here in data node 10, stored in a block. This is replica, second replica. The third replica is A13. Okay, only one block stored in a in three places. And if you see, all three blocks are not stored in a single rack. That is the one of the beauty of rack awareness. Okay, and that is one. The second block, you can say, in a data node 3, first block it got stored, and in rack 3, data node 15 and data node 16, second block and third block got stored. So here also, if you see, all three did not stored in a single rack. That you have to understand. Okay, and any two replicas won't be stored in a single data node. Are you able to understand? See here, if you take any data node, in data node, right, only one block got stored. Okay, but no two replicas are stored in the same data node, right? One first point is all three blocks won't stored in a single rack. This is one point, and second point is uh, not more than two blocks or no, not more than one block will stored in single data node. This is the second point that you have to understand. Okay, and rack awareness, when you send in a data, right, or when you want to write a program to count the data, okay, to count the records, then obviously we will write a program, and it will go to cluster, and it will run on these data nodes. But remember, it will choose nearest, to minimize the latency of the query execution, and to minimize the shuffling. So this is how data will store, and when you try to run a program, right, it will try to pick only nearest blocks. Let us say A11 is the nearest block to this location, right? And yeah, from A1 it will pick only A11, and from A2 it will pick what is that? Yeah, 2 1. So these two blocks only utilized for execution. Okay, remaining all blocks it won't be considered because this is a little far away from this track. And not only that point, and second point that you have to understand, that let us say this data node 3 and this let us say this data node 1 are busy with some other application, and the resources are very limited, and won't be have to execute these blocks. Okay, then that time what it will do, it will search for the second block where it is resides. Let us say in see A12 second block is here, but other resources means nothing but a cores, right? Number of cores and all. If this is having very good resources to compute the data, then it will pick only this data node 10 to execute the data, instead this A11. Okay, instead this node, right? So not only nearest, it will also see the best available resources to that from that particular data node, and then it will launch their task in that particular location, in that particular data node. Okay, is it clear, guys?
Yeah, Naresh.
Yeah, you can ask me any open question till now. All right. So, this is the actually, this concept we can call it as a rack awareness. Due to rack awareness feature in Hadoop, it will take its own decision where where actually this program should run. This Hadoop cluster will be taken care with help of rack awareness concept. Okay, to go for
Naresh,
yeah.
Naresh, in real time, so the replication factor would be like like will follow the same thing like 3 or 5, or depends on the files we have the priority of the
That's what,
execution.
and priority. A client will tell you upfront. Okay, he will tell you upfront
No.
that I need if that is a sensitive data, then we have to make
Mhm.
more replication. I saw almost 5 replication factor also. Okay, that is configurable.
Okay.
Okay, that is
Okay.
configurable.
Basically, it would be 3.
Yeah, because we have to consider, right, whether we have a storage or not for that also, right? If you make it is a 5, then if it is a 100 MB file will be 500 MB. It will take 500 MB
Okay.
to store. So you have to keep that point in your mind, and try to give the replication factor based on your
Okay.
priority.
So, and coming to these edge nodes, right? So, like, definitely we'll have 2 edge nodes, like,
Not like
and
that.
how
Not
we
like
can
that.
decide.
I will tell you. See, if you are a developer, you no need to worry about this. You are a developer or
Okay.
admin?
Okay. No, I'm a developer.
Yeah. See, I just give you a real-time example. Let us say you have your own house, right? For your
Mhm.
house, can you please tell me how many doors are there to entry?
Yeah, 3.
One or two, right? See,
Yeah.
though you have I mean, 3 or 4 doors complete your house, but entry door is only one, right? Or two
Yes.
maximum.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, similar kind of thing. You understand?
Yes. Yes. Got it.
Okay. Guys, any other questions from this topic? Okay. So let me jump and how actually real-time environments like dev and QA and PT and production and then disaster recovery DR environments, and what may be the configurations in general. And you can take it this configuration that I'm going to explain and explain in any interviews. Nobody will question. Okay, definitely. You know that is a good thing that if you know this knowledge. Let me jump into the topic.